Hello. So we made a game. It's called DigiDig. And we were solving this question of creating a system to help visualize the information of expeditions. As you heard earlier, there are very many journals left behind that still need some help being transcribed. So we were thinking to take one of the notebooks and turn it into a narrative game where the users incorporate a variety of objects in a virtual world.
So basically in this virtual game, we want to get the user interested in wanting to transcribe. And so we created an app so the user can go on and they can either log into your phone or have a kiosk at the museum where they can access it. And by playing the game, they'll log in time to go into a virtual reality dig. And so the back end of how everything works.
Yeah, so basically, each user that gets on gets a set of challenges, and then based on those challenges, we get data that goes from the app to the database. So let's say he puts in some information, I put in some information, it's stored in the database, and then it's compared. And if the values are similar, then that rises up to the top. If the values are not similar, it goes back to the bottom. And then on the other side, so we have the game side and then we have the researcher side. So once the data has gone to the database, the researcher can now query that database and find out what are the top values for transcription or for fossils. The idea was basically to have a platform that we could have fossil identification, transcription, and other elements in that game itself. So we developed this just shows a little bit of the back end. We developed a database and we developed an algorithm that was able to parse through the information that the users put in.
So since this database was customized, there's no need to use OCR or any of that. All you need is an email login and the app, which we built on Unity for Android. And then so here is a mock-up of the app, and we're going to play a demo for you guys. So here's the sign-in interface. You just log in with your email. And as you can see, we've digitized notebooks where you can interact a little bit more, and you can type into it. And based on the percentage you get correct, you'll log in time to experience the virtual world. We don't have sound. So we don't have sound, but it's okay. I'll explain. There's typing, and then you get about a percentage, and that percentage logs into that parse database that we saw earlier, and then the page flips, so we have page flipping sound. Whoosh. Type, 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 type. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, and so in the virtual reality reward that we give the user for engaging in this entryway to an expedition, a journey, like these lost journeys, we set up a leap motion where you can interact with the virtual world after you put on the Oculus headset, and people can sift. We're gonna have mini games where people can sift through and find fossils in this virtual world, and then learn about the fossils with imagery to identify them. And so in a way it becomes part education, but also a story narrative adventure. And so our next steps would be to implement that fossil imagery identification for the user to learn about the fossils, and then also other leap motion, like fun games that you can do in the virtual world to encourage more people to put their hand into transcribing in the app.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.